I was yours for the taking. Guess I needed a home, but if I'm not mistaken.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about I don't diet, but I still care about my health and I still care about my appearance. The reason why I want to do this video is because I feel like, at least in my little world, remember, these little boxes create a perception based on what we're consuming. So with my little box and my little world, I am currently consuming a lot of times two separate worlds. Over here is like still like traditional like restriction, dieting, fitness related, you know, counting calories, macros, like that kind of world. You've got body positivity, health at every size, intuitive eating, you know, beautiful no matter what vibes. I don't fit into either one, okay, not fully at least. I kind of fall in the middle. So I'm making this video for any of you who are like, listen, I want to be body positive, I want to get there, I want to embrace this body of mine, and then I also still really care about my health and what my labs say at the doctors, and you know, being able to be an active, healthy person in this world. I'm not going to go into my full story today. If you're curious about my full story and why I kind of transitioned to more of this balanced place, I want you to go to our podcast. I'll link it here and I'll also link it in the comment section below. I would like you to go to our podcast, the Meg and Maggie podcast. I did a whole breakdown on my story, my transition towards a more intuitive approach, why I had to, how things got really dark for a while there with my body and food, and it was just a really hard time in my life. And so we did a full breakdown on the podcast, and I'm going to spare you the details. If you're curious about why I'm in this place now, go back and listen to that. So I want to keep things like really in perspective here on my channel. This is not like something I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to be like so balanced and I'm going to eat like beautiful organic food and I'm going to work out because I want to take care of my body and I'm going to have this like beautiful relationship with my body and food and everything. No, it took time. And when I say time, I mean about 3 years to get to this place. So about 3 years ago, again, you can hear all of this in detail on the podcast. 3 years ago, I hit like a rock bottom where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't diet anymore. I am like restricting like crazy. I'm just, it's too much. It's taking up it's taking up so much mental energy. Like I can't do this anymore. So about 3 years ago, I had like one of those like rock bottom moments where you're like on the bathroom floor, like naked, and you're like, what do I do? That's when I had to learn about more of the intuitive eating world and learning about, you know, how to get more towards that approach. Being said though, it's possible. I now live a very balanced lifestyle. Basically, if you go back and listen to that episode, you're gonna hear all about my past and how it took me to get here. And now we're gonna like fast forward to where I'm at today and what my relationship is like now with my body and food and movement and all those things. 3 tips that I'm going to share with you today that have been game changers for me, and then I will have following content all around this topic as we go. So number 1 was making word shifts. Do not underestimate the power of your words, okay? Your words are powerful. They're powerful to other people and they're powerful to yourself. My biggest ones for me was using different words, and sometimes I still use other ones, but you'll never hear me saying that I'm going on a diet. You'll never hear me saying that I'm restricting. You'll never hear me saying that I'm counting or measuring or tracking anything that I eat. Now instead use words like nourishing my body or eating nutrient dense foods, or I say, a lot of times I use them interchangeably, but a lot of times I say I'm going to move my body instead of working out. Those words just align more with what I am looking to do. Second tip should be human nature, but we have gotten so disconnected from our bodies that it's not anymore. And that is listening to our hunger and fullness cues. We don't know how much we're supposed to eat. We don't know when we're hungry. We don't know when we're full. Unbelievably disconnected from my body that I did not know when I was like full versus when I was hungry versus when I was needed a snack. I had to become more mindful when I ate, actually chewing my food, seeing what I was craving. Was I still hungry? Did I feel full? Was I satisfied? I had to start with the basics of myself to learn, okay, seems to be that I'm hungry here, this happens here, blah, blah, blah. I now am so in tune with my body that I even recognize when I'm in different phases of my cycle as a woman. So for example, the luteal phase right before you menstruate, a lot of times we crave more calories during that time because of things going on within our bodies. I now notice just naturally that I'm hungrier during that time, and I make sure that I honor that. I honor my hunger and I eat more during those seasons. Third one is kind of like 2 in 1, but they go together beautifully because they were my 2 non-negotiables when I decided, when I was in that rock bottom moment and I said, I need to like do something different. I can't live like this anymore. These 2 were my non-negotiables and what really helped me to start to have a better relationship with my food. And they're not gonna work for everyone, but they worked for me. And that is 1, I do not restrict anymore. There are no foods that are off limits. I can have any food that I want, when I want it, however much I want it. Here's the thing, when no foods are off limits and tell your mind that, okay? Our brains are pretty like simple. When you tell your mind that, guess what? When you do that enough, because I went through seasons where I was like, sure, I can have whatever I want. I'm no restricting, and it's a hard season, so we'll get into that in the future. It's like the forbidden fruit is gone. I don't crave donuts like I used to because I can have a donut anytime. So I can't even tell you the last time I had a donut now because it's this shiny object of wanting something. When something is off limits, think about it in your own life. You know what I'm talking about too. When someone's like, you can't have it, you're like, watch, I'm gonna go get it. Right? Like, it's just human nature. If someone's like, you can't have that, well, guess what I want more than anything? That with food too. If someone was like, you can't have French fries, you know what I'd crave all the time? French fries. If my new diet said you can't have a donut, what would I want? A donut. The one that goes along with that was kind of like a non-negotiable for me was I don't weigh myself anymore. The number and I were really like, it was really hard for me, and it's something that I just have stuck with and I don't ever really want to know. Maybe in the future I'm gonna have to, you know, if I get pregnant or something like that, but I do not crave to know that number now, and it's not something that my doctor at least cares about, as long as the rest of my things are checking out. How do we do both? So it takes time. This process was not easy, okay, but it's so worth it. I'm gonna do lots of content on this in the future. It's a big topic and it's one that I'm really passionate about, so I'm excited to share it with you. I will see you in the next video.
I was yours for the taking. Guess I needed a home, but if I'm not mistaken,